Over the last few months and probably years, there is a kind of a trend in Italy to prepare very high hydration dough for some special Italian traditional pizza, and specifically for the pizza and sheet tray. I know that at home it's not always easy to reproduce this product, and I want to show you in this video how to do in a step-by-step way, as always I do, how to do a high hydration dough using home stand mixer. So you can use your standard home mixer to prepare this dough that at the end of the day will be very digestible and will be very crunchy outside and soft inside. So follow this video and you will be able to reproduce one of the most known and wanted pizza in Italy. Hello, so we will explore now how to do the high hydration dough, and we will be using standard homestead mixer. I already added in the bowl flour, yeast and a bit of malt, and all the amount of ingredients was shown before in the previous slide, and anyway I will be adding it in the description of this video and as well on my blog. I have out of it water, which is actually almost ice. As you can notice here, it's almost ice. We want it this way because especially when it's warm, but anyway with this homestead mixer we want to have it this way because otherwise we will be having the dough too hot, and this is something that we will check. So you have to check all the times temperatures, because temperatures are really key. And as you can see here, I also prepared the hook that in this case will be the one that has the K in it. And the reason is that for high hydration you have to use this one, otherwise it will be kind of a disaster to create the gluten. So salt will be added later, so I think that we are ready to start, so let's do it right now. So I'm going to add the frozen hook, and what I will do, I will add basically all the water directly while it's just start spinning, and I will add all the water. I will just keep out of it a very small amount that will help me in adding the salt. So as you can see, it's very small, it's super, and immediately I will start to spin fast, very fast. This is 80% hydration, so we expect the dough to be kind of sticky when it finishes to knead. And we will go. I immediately increase the speed at a very high level. No reason to not to do that. We want the gluten grid to create, gluten mesh to create fast. I mean, the flours that I'm using here are type 1 flours. They are pretty strong, so they take water in an amazing way. So I will slow down a bit, and I will add salt while it's still moving. And as I was saying before, to make it easy for the dough to absorb the salt, I'm going to add the last part of water. Everything together. I'm not scared about doing that. The reason I'm not scared again is because these flours are pretty strong, so they absorb water pretty well. But what is happening now is that I don't know if how much you can see that. Let me just try to move a bit the kneading machine while it's still taking everything from it. But you can see it's water everywhere. So, and it starts to be sticky. So now that it's starting to take again, I'm going to speed up. The way I expect now to happen is that I want the dough to clean the bowl completely. So the bowl has to be clean. And let me speed up. Now you can ask, how do you know when it's ready? So I use this method. I wait, generally I know already that in 7-8 minutes maximum the dough should be ready. But what I tend to observe is how much the dough is going around the hook. The more it tends to go around the hook, the more it means that it's ready. So let's stop it and let's control. So let's see how it is. It seems that it's still not. So I'm going to give. Yeah, it's ready. You see, and now it's sticking to the hook. It means that when it sticks to the hook, it's essentially ready. So when you open the, let's repeat it better. So we stopped the kneading at a high speed. After we stopped the kneading, I tried to remove it, and it was not easy to keep it around the hook because the speed was just pushing the dough on the sides of the bowl. So what you can do, you have to understand if it's ready or not. You reduce the speed of your stand mixer to the minimum, and you start it again. And you have to wait just that the dough goes around the hook, and then you open it. And if it is sticking into the hook and not going up from the bowl, that means that it's ready. In my case, I'm going to do one thing before I have it having a rest, and yeah, I think that it's still not yet formed, but that's okay. I'm going to measure the temperature. So let's see what is the current temperature. So it's 24 degrees, 24.4, which is absolutely perfect for this kind of kneading machines. So that's absolutely, as a stand mixer, is perfect. I think that it's still not yet ready, so I'm going to give other 30 seconds at the maximum speed. So I open it and then I immediately maximum speed. "30 seconds, okay." So then again minimum, and let's have just one turning around, and voila, it's already pretty good how it's removing from it. And let's take the temperature again. You see, in 30 seconds it took almost 1 Celsius degree, so it's pretty a lot how much these stand mixers are warming the dough. So it is still very sticky, so what I'm going to do is that I'm cleaning the hook, and I'm going to give to the dough a rest for 10 minutes. And after we will give a rest for 10 minutes, we will make the dough less sticky, and we will have to simply use this technique that is called the stop and go technique. So now I move this one, I will put a lid on top, and after putting the lid we will wait 10-15 minutes, no more than that, and then I will do what we call regeneration. So we will just install the hook again and just have the hook making, I don't know, 5-6 times around the bowl, and we will wait for the dough to stick again into the hook, and we will see how much smoother is the dough ball. So let's give 10-15 minutes and we will be back. So after about 10 minutes, what's happening is that we expect to have the dough that had a bit of rest. So what we will do is, as I was saying before, the regeneration. Before doing that, let me put back the hook. And before doing that, I want to take the temperature. And the temperature is still at, let me see if you can see, 25 degrees. Now, at home, I currently have around 26.5, 27 Celsius degrees. I want to suggest you something. If you have very warm temperatures, because for example this summer, instead of keeping the dough waiting in the bowl and in the kitchen normally, I strongly recommend you to remove the bowl, put the lid on top, and put a lid on top. Or if you don't have lid, you can use cling film, and put it into the fridge, because in this way you will have the temperature of the dough not going too much high. If it goes too much high, it's not good for the process. So what we have to do now is the regeneration. So what does it mean is we close the lid, we put the speed at the minimum, so never use something more than the minimum. And look at this. What we will do is we will turn it on, we will wait the dough, or better the hook, to do maximum 10 times around the bowl, and we will have to see if the dough will completely stick to the hook. If this is the case, it means that the regeneration is okay and that we worked before in the right way. So let's try. Start it. Oops. Let's start it. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's even. I don't even need to do the 10. Look at this now. The dough is completely sticking. Completely. It's not anymore into the bowl. Let me go. You see? It's not into the bowl. This is exactly what we want. What I am going to do, I will move directly to the top of the kitchen, and I will wait a few more minutes, and then I will start the folding process. However, if your dough is not really acting as mine, so it's not staying strongly onto the hook, but it's trying to go down, I strongly recommend to do another regeneration for other 10 minutes. So you wait for the second time another 10 minutes with the lid covered. Again, if it's summer, into the fridge. If temperatures are okay, you can keep it into the bowl and simply do this, what we call the regeneration, a couple of times. So don't just do it once like I'm doing. And so let's move back to the top and let's continue there. So as I said, I wanted to move to the kitchen to start the folding process. So with my dough scraper, with the help of my dough scraper, I'm going to take the dough from the bowl and I will put it here. Dough is already not super sticky. As you can see, I don't have anything in my hands, which is exactly what you want. But what we are going to do, this kind of dough, as I said before, it's 80% hydration. So the hydration is pretty high. So what we are going to do is that we will be using a bit of oil in the hands to do the folding process. So let me show you how I do. Bit of oil, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil in this case. It has to be really not so much. It's just to help your hands not to stick with the dough. And that's it. And then we do this one, folding. This is done already. And you can notice, but this is already pretty smooth dough ball. But as we want to make the gluten mesh much stronger than what it is now, because it is strong now but not enough for such an high hydrated and mixed in the standard home stand mixer. So what we are going to do, we will give it a break of 15 minutes and we will do again the folding in another 15 minutes, and we will do 3 cycles. We will do the first cycle after 15 minutes, then we will wait 10 minutes, we will do another slap and fold, and then after that we will be doing again we will give again a rest of 5 minutes, and then we will do the last process, so the last folding, which is in total, means that in total we will do this process of folding 3 times. So it's already pretty smooth and it's not sticky anymore. You can see my hand is not dirty, it's absolutely clean. This is a sign that it's everything good. I already prepared the recipient where I have the dough ball, where I will have the dough ball to have a rest. Now it's time to put a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit, not too much, as you can see, and I will spread it all over the recipient. I will do the last folding. Okay, so we are ready to put it into the recipient. We will close it. This goes into the fridge 24 hours more or less. Probably I will keep it a little bit less than 24 hours, around 20, because I need to consider the time that it will take to just rise again. So into the fridge, and see you tomorrow when we will be ready to do the last folding before having leavening at room temperature. Welcome back. So I just removed the dough after around 22 hours from the fridge. As you can see, it's just removed from the fridge, and I moved it to my and it was leavening a bit in the fridge, which is exactly what we want. Now what we do is that we want to move to the phase where we do the so-called appretto. So we will move the dough in the at room temperature, but before doing that I want to do again a bit of folding. So I'm just going to add this here. And I'm going to do just a bit of folding, not too much. This is high hydration though, but as you can see, everything is super clean, so we are good to go. We will put it back into the same recipient as it was before. We will close it and we will wait for a few hours. I think that with this amount of yeast, I expect to wait probably 3 hours and a half, no more than that, and then I will put it into the oven. So I will show you later all the phase where I will put it into the oven before cooking. So after about 3 hours and a half or 4, you can see that the dough is more than 2 times when we were putting into the recipient again. So I'm going to open it to show you how it was growing. I'm doing it very slowly because I don't want to destroy the dough. As you can see, it's grown, and I can tell you that it smells really, really well, but that's also probably because of the flowers. I already took my iron sheet pan, where I put a very thin surface of olive oil. It's really not too much, it's just to make sure it doesn't stick, even though it's in this kind of sheet pans is not really needed. Then what I do, I used this flour that is actually made on purpose to prepare the dough, shaping the dough to go into the pan. I'm going to just do it this way so I can then put the dough. Let me take out, and as you can see, it's fantastic. It's very, very nice. So let me put this on side. We will take some flour. I will put flour on top of it. I will move this a bit. So we have to consider that it has to be the same shape more or less, of course, then we can adjust it when we put it inside. But what we do is that we start from the sides, this way, and then we do the same this way, and as you can see, it's already of a good shape. What I want to do is I will try to do this way so that it removes a bit of flour. As you can see, it's removed, then thrown away. It's just, yeah, and what we can do, it's more or less the same shape as we were doing before. I will take it and I will put it into the sheet like this. Well, now what we will do is that I will put just a bit of oil on top, not too much, and then I will go into the oven. So in a second I will take the oven. So we are ready. We are at 300 degrees Celsius. I will prepare also the clock, so I will be sure that I will measure how much it will cook. And now we are ready to do the trick, which is that we will put the pan here and then close it immediately. So we added it exactly on the ground on the floor, and see you in a few minutes. I will start the clock now, so we will measure how much time we will spend in the oven. It will stay probably 8-9 minutes before I will move it on the middle level of the oven. So see you shortly. So 5 minutes left, or better, passed already. I'm going to move it. And I'm just moving it on top, and as you can see, it's already almost cooked. So I will spend just maybe 1 more minute, maximum 2, and then I will remove it just to give a bit of other color, and I will show you the final result. So 7 minutes, and I think that this time it's already done. It's a little bit more than 7 because I maybe activated 30 seconds after. So let's remove. We can turn it off, and you can see super hairy inside. We are going to just move it here, and then we will distribute a bit the oil, which is over here. We will try to distribute a bit everywhere so it's not staying. And that's it. In 5 minutes we will be ready to eat it.